Hi, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my photography talks. So today I'm going to talk about shooting photographs as street photographers in public. There was a story this week about a guy who was shooting at the Ventura County Fair, and all these people thought he was some kind of a criminal, and he was photographing kids for salacious reasons. I think that we as photographers know that we have a right to photograph anything we want in public, but we also have to be aware that people are living in a world that has sold fear in a way that has made it so that everybody is suspicious. And we're really not. I am a wholeheartedly believer that we are a good society of good people, and more people would help your kids than hurt them. And you probably have more to fear inside your family than strangers on the street taking street photographs. This guy was using a film camera and he's taking photographs at the fair. There's really no reason to find that to be worrisome, but of course, people overreact. And I think that children are a great subject for street photography because often they're the ones doing funny things or interesting things. And they can be included in scenes with adults, or they can be by themselves. I certainly am aware if I'm shooting in a place where there's only one kid, then I'm very much aware that I need to go find out where's the parent, make sure they know that somebody is photographing their kid. But in a large setting where there's a lot of people out on a street fair kind of a thing, a carnival, there's no way to ask. And I have some photos that I was shooting the same time he was shooting there. I was shooting at the Boulder County Fair, and you can see there's lots of people in those photographs, including kids. And it's not that I'm trying to single out kids, I'm just looking for photographs and stories. And often those pictures make for good stories. So it's important to know rights. It's also important to know some street smarts and some common sense. I remember doing a photo for a project I was working on, and I saw some kids playing in a sprinkler out in front of their lawn, and I could have just shot it, but I certainly didn't before I knocked on the door and I asked for their parent to come and let them know that I was working on this project and I needed to get some photographs, and could I photograph the kids? And they said sure. But to just do it without asking, I would have every right, but that's not a carnival situation. That's a person walking by a house, and I think there's a different energy to that. If the parent was out there, maybe it would be more acceptable because I could catch their eye, and that would be, in somewhat protective. But we really live in a safer society than we think. The news has changed. The availability of news has changed, I think, and we probably aren't any worse off than we were 40 years ago. In fact, I would bet we're better off, but it doesn't seem that way. And the way that we are told that everybody's a criminal, everybody's a pedophile, everybody has negative intentions for what they're doing, that's an unfortunate place that we're in, because street photography has always been about photographing people on the streets, and lots of times it was kids. Look at some of the photographs by Helen Levitt and Gary Winogrand, and there's this, even Vivian Meyer. There's like so many photographs that wouldn't be made if we just couldn't photograph anybody under 18. And there's really nothing to be said other than use some common sense. Yes, you have the right. Be aware of where your situation is. And also go out with that big smile. Go out with that joy of, yeah, I'm documenting this and I'm not kind of lurking around. I'm actually out here having a great time. And when you approach people, they'll see you as a person who's working very openly and very joyously, and that joy is something that will diffuse any negative suspicions, hopefully. All right, that's today's photography talk. Did you see those articles? They're in Petapixel and F-Stoppers this week, and they had hundreds and hundreds of comments because it's such a crazy story. People on Facebook were saying the guy is definitely, some kind of a creep, should be killed. It's like terrible things. We shouldn't be so quick to demonize somebody if we don't know what they're doing. And hopefully he should have been maybe a little bit more proactive in explaining what he was doing. But that didn't happen, and this situation arose. All right, that's today's photography talk. If you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, hit the Patreon. And thank you all for who are Patreon supporters. You mean a lot to this show, and thank you so much. I want to make a little special call out. All right, here's the good light.